I've been running this solo. I've been on my dollar. Everybody acting like they know me, but they don't know. I've been on go-mo, never in slow-mo. I only come in second to my GoPro. Losing, that's a no-no. Losing, that's a, losing, that's a, losing, that's a no-no.
All right, so I gotta ask, what is the biggest disappointment that I have from foster care? And that's a real good question. Kind of a hard one to answer, man. All right. So if I had to say what my biggest disappointment from foster care is, it's kind of hard to buckle it down. There is a good bit. I would guess that one of my biggest disappointments. I mean, obviously there was a lot of them. Like every birthday that you don't have family there to celebrate with you is hard. Um, every time you have a football game or a sports event, no one's there. That's hard. But I'll be honest. I think the biggest disappointment that I had is that the people that I lost over the years of being in foster care. And what I mean by that is over the time that I've been in the system, I've had people that I care about, or people that were good people to me or close to me, that during that time, over time we just parted ways. We tend to not be the same. The biggest problem is as I got older, I noticed that I was always going to run into one or two situations getting older, right? And let me explain what those situations are. So people that I grew up with that I care about, as I said before, they either wind up in dead or in jail. That's it. I mean, you only got one of the two. It's dead or in jail, or they, by the grace of God, made it. And a lot of them didn't. So when you get to a later on point in life, you tend to notice that people change, man. And that's the hardest part of everything to me, is the fact that people change. I can't express that enough. People change over time, and if it's the biggest disappointment I've ever had, it's the fact that people that I grew up with, that I care about, the ones that didn't die, the ones that didn't go to jail, or the ones that possibly made it, right? When you bring them people back in your life, if it's one thing about me I've always been the same about, always, is to keep the same energy, right? So if I haven't seen you in 10 years, if I grew up with you and I got love for you, you're going to get that same love I had 10 years ago. I'm not going to change that. I get it. Over time, I never changed. I evolved. I never changed. There's a difference. I evolved for the better, right? I have a lot of shit still wrong with me. A lot of things that I had problems with when I was younger. But over time, I'm doing my best to try to correct those things to be a better version of me. When I say people change, I've had people come to me and say something like, yo, man, times changed, man. You don't know me like that. A lot happened over the times. And you don't know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I may not have broke you off with everything that happened in this time period since we ain't been talking, but the only thing that's changed is time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might evolve, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of guys will beat their chest, but you don't know what I'm actually dealing with or what I'm doing nowadays. A lot of things that I might have tolerated before, I got kids now, homie, not tolerating that no more. What used to be a bare knuckle fight may not turn out the same way anymore. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things that people don't understand is that when you get older, if you evolve, I don't see anything wrong with that. When you change, I kind of see something wrong with that, unless you was a completely shitty person and had to do 180, right? Problem is, the most disappointing things I've learned in life is I got people still stagnant, stuck in that young boy state of mind. And I can't get down with that. Like, I get it, man. We've all went through shit when we were younger. We all did, especially if you came up in the system. So we came up through some crazy shit. But you either going to use it as a clutch or a ladder. You want to use it as a crutch, that's cool. You always going to be limping on that. You never going to come up. You're never going to get to the next place in your life, because you're using this as an excuse every time somebody says, so, oh, you don't want this because I went through that and I did this. Homie, trust me, I know. I've been through more than most. I get it. But not me. I'm using that as a ladder, homie. I know what I've been through. I knew all the people that I crossed paths with. I know that all the interactions that I met, exactly how I need to network and who I need to deal with and how I need to present myself as a person. If you ain't figured that out, then bro, that's on you. I can't do nothing about it. But don't change the game. I'm still the same guy I used to be. When it come down to crossing my lines, bro, they still in the same spot. So when you cross them, you cross them. Period. It is what it is. But see, that's the point that I feel like a lot of people that I came up with don't understand. It's kind of like when you tell cats, yo, you could take, a cat out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the cat. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that same mentality. You never learned how to evolve inside, bro. Like, I don't have anything to prove to nobody. Never. I don't. I am who I am. You may not like it, or you might like it. I don't know. Either way, I don't care. I evolved to a point as myself as a man that I understand who I am, and I get who I am. As being that man, I understand what I got to do. And I don't got nobody to impress, and nobody I got to prove nothing to. I'm very secure in who I am. And that insecurity, the other cats never got a chance to at least try to dive in on and shore those holes up, are still dealing with it. And because of that, them cats can't do what they want to do. And they stuck in that same mentality. And being stuck in that same mentality has got them running in the same circles. And because of that, homie, I can't kick it with a lot of these cats that I used to. And that's just what it is, man. Growing up in the system, you going down one or two paths. You going to use that as a crutch or a ladder. If you going to use it as a crutch, then you always going to be in that same position. Because in the real world, they don't care, homie. They do not care in the corporate world whether or not you went through this, that, or the other thing. What can you do for me? And if you can't, we don't want to hear it. So I'm going to use that as a ladder. I had a lot of personal experiences. And I'm going to use those personal experiences to dibble and dabble in every situation. I feel comfortable in every situation you put me in. You drop me in the hood, I feel good. You drop me in the middle of corporate America, and I can mingle my way through any conversation because I feel just as comfortable in that conversation because I'm an intelligent young cat that learned what I had to learn through the system. Man, if you in a system and you going through the system and you listening to what I'm saying right now, listen, I ain't trying to be a daddy or tell you anything crazy. But please take the words that I'm saying, man, and learn from it, man. I've met too many of my own friends, family, people that I give a damn about that are in two places that I don't want to see them. Please be the goddess in the third. Man, you watching Let's Talk TV. This is Mac, and until next time, I'll see you then.
I've been running this so long. I've been on my dollar.